My friends, listen carefully. We are living in a time when strength is not just about muscles, it's about strategy, about power, about knowing when to fight and when to build alliances. My friends, when we talk about strength, many people only imagine the biceps, the chest, or the broad shoulders. But real strength is not only about lifting heavy weights, it is about lifting nations, building alliances and understanding when to stand alone and when to lean on a partner. This is the first and the most important reason why Trump is forced to soften his stance on India, the power of partnership. In life, no matter how strong you think you are, there comes a moment when you cannot do everything by yourself. Even the strongest bodybuilder in the gym needs a spotter to push through the heaviest set. If you think you can always go alone, you are already on the path to defeat. America, as powerful as it is, knows this truth very well. Trump knows it too. And when he looks at India, he sees not just another country but a partner that can help balance power in Asia and across the world. Now think about this carefully. China is rising, and its rise is not gentle. It is aggressive, it is ambitious, and it is challenging America in almost every corner: economics, technology, defense, and global influence. Alone, America cannot counter this kind of pressure forever. It needs a partner who is strong, reliable, and ready to stand shoulder to shoulder. That partner is India. India's growth is unstoppable. Its population is young. Its democracy is vibrant, and its position in Asia makes it one of the most strategic allies America could have. Without India, the balance of power tilts heavily towards China. With India, America has the leverage, the stability, and the presence to face the competition. This is why Trump cannot afford to play the tough guy with India for too long. Of course, he may talk about trade disputes, about tariffs, about negotiations. That is politics. But behind the scenes, he knows that if he pushes India away, he weakens his own hand. Just as in bodybuilding, you cannot only train your arms and ignore your back, America cannot strengthen itself globally while neglecting an ally as powerful as India. The body must be balanced, and so must global strategy. Remember also, partnerships are not built in a day. Just like building muscle, it takes time, patience, and consistent effort. Over the years, the ties between America and India have grown stronger through defense agreements, shared democratic values, cultural connections, and economic links. Trump inherits this reality. He cannot simply tear it at without hurting America itself. That is why he is forced to soften his stance. He knows that shouting loudly may win applause for a moment, but true leadership is about securing long-term gains, not short-term victory. Think about the psychology of champions. A real champion knows that winning does not mean crushing everyone around you. Winning means building the right alliances, knowing which battles to fight and which relationships to protect. Trump is a deal maker. He built his name on making deals, not burning bridges. When it comes to India, he is smart enough to realize that this is one relationship where being too tough is not strength, it is weakness. The strong man is the one who can bend, who can adapt, who can recognize the value of his partner and act accordingly. So when we talk about why Trump is softening his stance on India, understand this: it is not about charity, it is not about weakness, it is not about compromise, it is about power. It is about recognizing that in the world of nations, just like in the gym, you need a reliable partner to spot you, to push you, to keep you safe as you lift the heaviest weights. India is that spotter for America. And Trump, no matter how tough his words may sound, knows deep inside that without this partnership, America's strength will not be complete. That is why he chooses to soften. Not because he wants to, but because he has to. That is the true power of partnership. When we talk about economic strength, it is just like talking about the muscles of the body. If your legs are weak, your entire frame collapses. If you build only the chest and the arms, but neglect the foundation, you are unbalanced and unstable. In the same way, when we speak about nations, their economies are the legs, the true foundation. This is why Trump cannot remain too tough on India, because India has become a vital part of America's economic foundation. Whether he admits it openly or not, The truth is clear: the United States and India are deeply connected, and those connections cannot be broken without creating cracks in America's own strength. India is not just a country of over 1 billion people, it is a billion-strong marketplace, a young and hungry population that is buying, selling, inventing, and pushing the future of global trade. This is not a small or secondary market. This is one of the largest consumer bases on Earth. Now think about the flow of technology and innovation. India is not just a market for products, it is also the engine that powers much of America's digital world. From Silicon Valley to Wall Street, Indian talent is everywhere. Software, engineering, medicine, startups. India is at the heart of America's innovation. Every major U.S. company has deep roots in India, whether through outsourcing, partnerships, or research hubs. If Trump chooses confrontation over cooperation, he risks cutting off America's access to this incredible brainpower. It would be like tearing the fibers of your muscle just when you are about to lift the heaviest weight. You may look strong for a moment, but the pain will force you down. There is also the matter of trade balance and supply chains. In today's world, no economy stands alone. Products are not made in one country, they are made everywhere. The phone in your hand, the medicine in your cabinet, the clothes you wear, pieces of them are designed in one nation, manufactured in another, and assembled in a third. India plays a major role in this global chain. For America to cut ties or push India too hard would be like tearing apart the ligaments that connect the muscles. The body would collapse. Trump knows this. He may use tough language for political drama, but in the boardroom of reality, he understands that softening toward India is not weakness, it is survival. And let us not forget the future. By 2030, India is expected to be one of the top 3 economies in the world. This is not speculation, this is a certainty based on demographics, development, and determination. If America closes the door today, it loses tomorrow's opportunities. A leader who ignores the future for the sake of ego is not a strong leader, but a foolish one. Trump may speak with bravado, but he is not a fool when it comes to business. He knows that betting against India is like betting against growth itself. So understand this clearly: when Trump softens his stance on India, it is not because of kindness or charity. It is because the economic muscle of India is too strong to ignore. America needs that muscle to stand tall in the global competition. Just like the bodybuilder who cannot neglect his legs if he wants to win the championship, America cannot neglect India if it wants to dominate the global economy. Trump recognizes this reality, and that is why his tough words always give way to softer action. Because in the end, economics is the true muscle, and India has become one of the strongest muscles in the world. Strength is never just about the size of your arms or the look of your shoulders. It is about how prepared you are for the fight. In bodybuilding, you don't just train to look good on stage. You train to be strong, to endure, to handle any challenge that comes your way. The same is true for nations. Military power is the endurance, the raw strength, the shield that protects everything else. And this is why Trump cannot stay too hard on India. Because when it comes to defense, India is not a lightweight, it is a heavyweight fighter. It is one of the few nations in the world with the size, the numbers, and the determination to match big powers. Trump knows that if he pushes India too far, America risks losing one of the most important defense partners in the Indo-Pacific. Look at the numbers. India has one of the largest standing armies in the world. Its air force is modernizing rapidly, its navy is expanding, and it is investing heavily in defense technology. This is not the India of the past. This is an India that is ready to take its place as a global power. For the United States, which is facing increasing military competition from China, having India as a partner is not optional, it is essential. Alone, America can project power, but it cannot be everywhere at once. Just as in the gym, no matter how strong you are, you cannot spot yourself during a heavy bench press. You need someone to watch your back. For America, that spotter in Asia is India. Now think about geography. India's location gives it unmatched strategic importance. It sits at the heart of the Indian Ocean, a region through which some of the world's busiest trade routes pass. Whoever controls this region holds tremendous influence over global commerce and security. China knows this, and that is why it has been expanding its presence there. But America knows it too, and this is why it values India as a partner. Trump may use tough talk on trade or policies, but when it comes to defense, he understands that antagonizing India would weaken America's position in one of the most critical parts of the world. In the competition with China, India is not just useful, it is indispensable. There is also the question of perception. Around the world, nations are watching. They see how America treats its allies. If Trump were to be overly aggressive toward India, other countries would lose confidence in American leadership. But by standing together with India, Trump projects strength, reliability, and balance. Just as a bodybuilder on stage must pose correctly to show off his power, a leader must align with the right partners to project authority on the world stage. India makes America look stronger, not weaker. Finally, there is the reality of the future. Conflicts are changing. They are not only about tanks and missiles, but about cyber warfare, space, and advanced technology. India is investing in all of these areas. To face the future, America needs partners who are prepared to handle these new arenas of competition. Trump knows that if he hardens too much against India, he risks losing a partner that is not only strong today, but will be even stronger tomorrow. So understand this. Trump's softened stance toward India on military matters is not weakness, it is wisdom. He knows that in the world of defense, just like in the gym, you don't challenge the strongest guy in the room to a pointless fight. When we talk about strength, people often think only about muscles, armies, or money. But true strength also comes from influence. The power of people, the voice of communities, the energy of those who build bridges between nations. In America, one of the most powerful communities shaping this relationship is the Indian-American community. This is why Trump, no matter how tough his words might be, is forced to soften his stance on India. Because inside America itself, Indian Americans are rising like champions, and their presence cannot be ignored. Look at the contributions of this community. In science, Indian Americans are leading breakthroughs in medicine, research, and technology. In Silicon Valley, some of the biggest companies in the world are run by people of Indian origin, CEOs who shape the future of digital innovation. In hospitals across America, Indian doctors serve millions of patients, saving lives and strengthening healthcare. In universities, Indian professors and students are contributing knowledge, research, and ideas that drive progress. This is not a small community, it is a powerhouse of talent, energy, and success. Trump knows this. Any leader who tries to stand against India must remember that India's influence does not stop at its borders. It stretches deep into the heart of America through its people. Now think about politics. Indian Americans may be a small percentage of the U.S. population, but their influence is growing rapidly. They are active voters, donors, and participants in government. More and more Indian Americans are winning elected positions, entering Congress, and shaping policies. This community has become a bridge between two great democracies. For Trump, ignoring or antagonizing them would be like ignoring one of the strongest muscles in his own body. Just as a bodybuilder must train every part of his body to stay balanced, a leader must respect every powerful community to stay strong. And then there is the cultural power. Indian Americans have introduced America to their traditions, their festivals, their food, their movies, their values. Diwali is celebrated in the White House. Bollywood influences Hollywood, and yoga is now practiced in every gym across the United States. These are not small things, they represent acceptance, connection, and shared identity. A smart leader understands that culture is a form of soft power, and India's culture, carried proudly by its diaspora, has become deeply rooted in America. For Trump to act too aggressively against India would risk alienating this vibrant community and all the goodwill it has created. But influence is not only about contributions, it is also about numbers. The Indian American population has crossed several million, and it is one of the fastest growing immigrant groups in the country. These are not just workers or students. These are citizens, voters, entrepreneurs, leaders. Their children are excelling in schools, their businesses are driving growth, and their voices are becoming louder in every sphere. Trump knows that in politics, every vote counts, every voice matters. If he were to harden too much against India, he risks losing the support of a community that is increasingly important in American elections. Consider also the emotional connection. Indian Americans are proud of their heritage. They follow events in India closely, and they care deeply about how their ancestral homeland is treated by America. If America treats India as an enemy, this community feels disrespected. But if America treats India as a partner, the community feels empowered and motivated. Trump understands this psychology. He may be tough on many issues, but when it comes to India, he knows that being too harsh would create unnecessary opposition inside his own country. So when we ask why Trump softens his stance on India, remember the power of the Indian American influence. It is like having a muscle you cannot ignore. If you don't train it, it will weaken your whole performance. If you injure it, you cannot compete. But if you strengthen it, it carries you to victory. Trump sees the success, the determination, and the pride of this community. He knows that their influence is not just in business or culture, but in politics and leadership itself. This is why he is forced to soften, because ignoring the Indian American community would not only damage ties with India abroad but also weaken his position at home. In bodybuilding, when you step on the stage, it's not just about how strong you are in the gym. It's about how the world sees you. The judges, the audience, the photographers, they don't care how much weight you lifted backstage. They care about how you present yourself under the spotlight. In politics, it is the same. Strength is not only about what you do but also how the world perceives you. And this is why Trump is forced to soften his stance on India, because in the global arena, perception is power, and America cannot afford to look weak, isolated, or short-sighted by clashing too hard with a rising giant like India. Think about the competition today. The United States is not just competing with one country. It is competing on multiple fronts with China in economics, with Russia in geopolitics, and with Europe in trade disagreements. Every move America makes is being watched by allies and rivals alike. If Trump takes a hard line against India, the message to the world is clear. America cannot hold on to its friends, and when a leader cannot keep allies close, he looks weaker, not stronger. In bodybuilding terms, it would be like stepping on stage, with huge arms but a sunken chest. The whole physique collapses. Balance is everything. And for America, India is part of that balance. Now look at the global perception of India itself. India is not seen as a weak or dependent nation anymore. It is seen as a rising power, a democracy with over 1 billion people, a country shaping technology, culture, and trade. Other nations are building strong ties with India, from Japan to Australia to the European Union. If America were to isolate India, it would be handing influence to its rivals on a silver platter. China would love to see America push India away. Russia would welcome India close, and Europe would strengthen its own partnerships. Trump knows this. He understands that in the arena of global leadership, you cannot give your opponents an easy victory by alienating one of the world's most strategic partners. There is also the matter of image. Trump built his brand on being a deal maker. A man who knows how to win by playing his cards right. But what kind of deal maker would throw away a relationship with India, one of the most valuable cards in the international deck? The world would see that as reckless, not strong. By softening his stance, Trump projects an image of control, of strategy, of someone who knows when to push hard and when to embrace. Just like a champion on stage knows when to flex, when to relax, and when to smile for the judges, Trump knows he has to manage perception as much as action. Another layer is the role of global institutions, from the United Nations to trade organizations, from climate discussions to security alliances. India has become a voice that cannot be ignored. It speaks not just for itself, but for many developing nations. If America positions itself against India, it risks losing influence in these platforms. By softening his stance, Trump ensures that America continues to look like a leader who builds partnerships instead of breaking them. This image is critical because in international politics, Appearance often shapes reality. If you appear isolated, you become isolated. If you appear cooperative, you gain leverage. Finally, there is the legacy factor. Every leader knows that history will judge them not just by what they did domestically but by how they shaped the world. Trump is no different. He knows that his actions with India will be remembered as part of America's grand strategy in the If he chooses confrontation, he risks being remembered as the leader who lost India to America's rivals. If he chooses cooperation, he strengthens his legacy as a leader who secured America's place alongside a rising superpower. For a man who cares deeply about how he is remembered, the choice is clear: soften, cooperate, and build. So understand this. Trump's decision to soften his stance on India is not weakness, it is awareness. It is the recognition that in the global arena, perception shapes power. Just like on the bodybuilding stage, the champion is not the one who lifts the heaviest weight backstage, but the one who shows balance, control, and confidence under the lights. For America, standing with India sends the message of strength, unity, and vision. That is why Trump must soften, because in the eyes of the world, only those who build alliances look truly powerful. Trump is forced to soften his stance on India. Let me break it down for you in 5 strong points, Arnold style.